It's too hot for the mosquitoes. That's how you know I probably shouldn't be out. Oh shit! Tree stumps and shit. God damn. That's what we're here for. Ooh. There she goes. I'm whistling diesel. This is comedy. That's the easiest way to get a subframe off a car. We'll just turn it over. How to get the engine out? Dump it. It's first time taking out a V12. That's what you do when you're a superstar. Now that I'm actually looking at this, I can see the extent of the damage. So that's the power steering pump right there. It's normally about right here. There's the crank. You know how hard you gotta hit something to move your oil pan back here? This right here, this line is supposed to be about here, a couple inches forward, and the whole front timing cover. You see the crank pulley hit it right there and dented that. So I wouldn't be terribly surprised to find out that the crankshaft itself is bent. Because again, there it is. So this whole that's nuts. Like this is a belt tensioner for the AC, which the belt ran to here, and it's supposed to be a pulley that's on there. I have that, but yeah, the tensioner is supposed to be those are supposed to be like on the same plane, like together, and so you see how much it pulled or pushed the oil pan back that way and took this with it. Like this spring is supposed to be compressed like down there. So now you see why I'm not going to use this engine. I may use the heads if I can get them clean, you know, get them rebuilt, new cams and stuff like that. But the block itself, it's literally just a decoration at this point. First thing before I do anything, lots and lots of this. This has been sitting in the yard for over a decade, so we're just gonna put this on everything. Alright, so I think the first thing I'm gonna take off is gonna be the AC compressor and the associated bits from it. Leave that there. Just take off all the accessories first. Power steering pump. This alternator is actually what I use for the 850. Took it apart. Stuff. Keep all this stuff for parts, because while it may not be good on its own, it's still got good stuff in it, so we can use that. Because these cars aren't getting any more common. So you can see part of the extent of the damage on the oil pan here, how whatever it hit pushed it back so far that feels like the oil pumps broke too. We'll see. But it pushed all this so far that it broke it in here, and certainly all the way up front. So, it'll be exciting to actually turn this thing over and get down there. I want to see if it turns over, since I'm thinking about it. These are 12s. Loose. Loose. These are not tight. For that is a 6 and a bug. 6 mil. Already loosened this up. Crack this off. Take it out from the cam. Didn't think that was going to come off easily. And then over here we have these 5s to get the actual piece off. Ah, fucking bugs. Also, yes, I did take the gloves off because I find that while it's nice to have clean hands, it's also really annoying when you get all that sweat in there, you know, summertime. So all that sweat gets to be annoying after a while. So that's pretty. Not really. So we'll get that, and I need to massage this off somehow. There we go. It's got a key in it, which is good. Sit that there, cover there. Number 5. Also, you can keep these and use them as bolts for your clutch fan, or fan clutch, whatever you call it. BMW likes to use these little bolts, little 5 mils, on a couple different things, as you can see here. So that out. That one looks a little bit better. So like that. Put these over here. We got that, and cover should just be a series of 10s. Should be. Sometimes there's some 13s tossed in there. Again, stick this. See that going up, that going down. Spins nicely. Easier in some places than others, but nicely nonetheless. Okay, so we got that. Next up we can bottom right there. Nasty. Again, all of this is supposed to be, this broke from there, so this whole thing really did just get shoved back this way, which again I think is super interesting. Very metal. We like metal. Just because it's freaking cool. This shit broke, and the fact this happened over the course of a couple seconds is really the coolest part about accidents, is that so much, you know, destruction can occur in 10 seconds. You know, first hit, this is all done. It's amazing. And then undoing it is, you know, its own job. But yeah, this thing got fucked. It got fucked. I guess next, logically, we should take off the oil pan. You can really see the extent of how much damage happened, because again, this is supposed to be relatively square. This corner is the front corner. It's supposed to be about here, so it got pushed back at least 5-6 inches, which is just impressive. It's just impressive. In fact, I gotta take it off just so you guys can really see. Again, this is supposed to be a square piece. This is supposed to be about here. The front corner is supposed to be about here. That's literally that much movement. So getting this off might prove to be a challenge, or it could be super easy. I don't know. But lower oil pan, RIP. Like that right there is going to be a challenge. Getting a socket back there might end up cutting it, because you do have to take off this in order to take off the entire upper oil pan, which is also foobar. So we can get these out. We can get these out in there, and then we'll figure out a way to get these off. Other than that, we're moving through this pretty quickly. So wow, Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. That is impressive. The oil pump is definitely broken off of this thing. That's the pickup. This is the pump for the guest. The V12 house for a spider. Nice. Broke the chain. Break every chain. Oh. Whew. Okay. Now we're cooking. Oil pump trashed. I just did this trying to pry that son of a bitch. Whew. Oil pump chain nice and broke. Sit down on the piston. And I don't think the block was damaged. I think it probably stopped running immediately. But we won't really know the answer to that until we get into actually pulling the heads off. We can see the cylinders. But for right now, we got somewhere. Ta-da! That just fell in there. Yeah, the inside of the block actually looks pretty good. Aside from a few small bits. Inside of an M70B50. Looks pretty good. Well, at least what I can see from this cylinder back there. This all looks pretty normal. Normal stuff. Now, I'm not going to go any further than this right now because I'm interested in leaving the rotating assembly in it for the time being. But yeah, we can turn it over and actually turn it over and see how this stuff looks. Yes, this black thing is a cover that goes right there. So that should be a 19. Jesus Christ, I forgot that was spring loaded. Ah, pop goes the weasel. God damn. Loosened up the chain just a little bit. There's water in there. Let's pop these off. That'll be the shortcut to that. Mosquitoes. Now, can we get the head off? Oh, wait. We can't do that quite yet because it's still attached up here. I almost fucked up. Seen people struggle way worse than that. Ooh, that's gross. That's gross. Oh. Ew. God. Okay. First time seeing the side or the inside of an M70. Part of this has to do, I can almost guarantee, with the fact that I took the intakes off and, you know, the engine wasn't really sealed anymore for probably 2 years. So a lot of this is just because water was able to kind of creep in. You can see which cylinders had the most exposure. So these two valves were probably open. These two intake valves probably open, and that allowed that to happen. But again, they still move freely, and I don't see any scoring of any kind. So the inside of the block is still in great shape, I would think. That's crusty. Boy, that's crusty. Nice. I'll go ahead and pull the head gasket off. Just make it look a little bit nicer in here. Doesn't look terrible. Definitely got some shit building up in here though. Overall, this could be worse. And again, given its 2-year exposure to weather, seeing this in here is not really surprising me. But all this stuff's going to be acid dipped or something like that after a while, so we won't see any of this. I don't know how I'm going to get that thing off. Anyway, I'll go ahead and pull the head gasket off. Just make it look a little bit nicer in here. Doesn't look terrible. Definitely got some shit building up in here though. Overall, this could be worse. And again, given its 2-year exposure to weather, seeing this in here is not really surprising me. But all this stuff's going to be acid dipped or something like that after a while, so we won't see any of this. I don't know how I'm going to get that thing off. Anyway. There we go. Okay. Similar crust. Shit, it's just been sitting there. But again, the walls, cylinder walls look great. So if I wanted to reuse this block, I probably could. Thing is, I have like 3-4 of these, and the 850 is going to not use the M70 block, so technically I could have made a table out of it. But I wanted to use this, like I said, to get used to taking one apart. So if there was anything that messed up, like, at least it's on this and not something that I need. So good to know that worst case, I could pop this block out from under the table and use it. Thankfully, we don't have to do that. So yes, that is a mostly stripped V12. The only thing that we have left in there is the crank itself. But I mean, if I pulled the crank and the pistons out, that would be, you know, completely stripped, shy of the flywheel, which would come out with the crank anyway. So, just for shits and giggles, you see really rotating V12 on its own. Now let's see. There we go. Like I said, all that torque. Nice. Sweet. Sweet. So next, I'm going to clean it. I could have started with this, you know, before I completely stripped it, but some degreaser on there. I'll continue driving with this thing, see if I can get it off. Next step would be kind of coming through with the same thing I did on the impact there, or a drill, where I'll be, you know, getting the rest of this stuff out. But I mean, piston tops, like I said, they cleaned up pretty easy. The cylinder walls still look good. All that crap out of there. An acid bath is really going to be ideal, because that's what's going to get this discoloration off of here and inside of these coolant jackets right here. So once that's all clean, this thing's dipped, pretty much be ready for me to start the table process. So I'm cool with it where it's at. Honestly, it's clean, not leaking oil or anything. It does have random RTV and gasket material and a couple vines and stuff on the inside, but otherwise it is pretty darn good. That's a clean V12 ready for a table. So that's what we're left with. I actually got it pretty darn clean. And I also noticed when I was in here, that and that. I don't know if this is actually a stress crack, if that is I don't know. But good thing this is being a table and not being put in a car. But still more work to do. I got this off. I'm gonna wire brush all this stuff because it's just nasty, like actual corrosion. That's why you don't put water in your aluminum engine car. But moving on. Pistons look a lot better. This part of the block looks pretty good. I mean, I'm happy with how this came out. I also took the, I guess, cover that went behind the timing cover. I guess it's a whole timing case that comes off in two pieces. Took that off too. So this is about as clean as I can get it for the moment, which I'm actually pretty satisfied with. I mean, if I come back with some harder stuff and like really let it soak in there, I can probably get this all clean. I mean, I think that finish is pretty cool. So if I can just get the rest of this black stuff off, which I think a couple more rounds of cleaning I can do, then I might just take a DA with like 80 or 40 grit to it and then go over the top of the mating surface so that that's clean. That way I don't have to get it decked or anything like that, because realistically, if I can clean that and get the black spots off, and if I can get this valley cleaned out, I mean, I could even fabricate an aluminum piece to cover this at least, and then probably polish this or like DA or something like that. But everything else, I mean, looks pretty darn good, like better than I thought it was going to, for sure. So this cleaned up very nicely.